Well, hey, Eastview, it's good to be back with you for another Daily Devo. Thanks to Jason Sniff last week for filling in for me. He shared with you guys that I got married a few weeks ago, so I was out for that, and then I got COVID right when we got back. So it's been a little bit of a crazy ride, but I've been enjoying continuing to listen to our sermons on Sundays. And Mark Moore's sermon from this past Sunday in John chapter 10 was powerful about Jesus being the good shepherd. And I wanted to dive in a little bit more to something that he shared that I thought was just really powerful on Sunday. And that was this idea of Jesus being the gate or the door. Jesus talks about this in John chapter 10 when he's talking to the Pharisees about how he's the good shepherd, and he's kind of contrasting the way he cares for the flock to the way that the shepherds of Israel had been caring for the flock. And there's this idea of it is called a sheepfold. Sorry, I was making sure I had the right terminology there. And you can actually look this up, go on Google or something like that. You can get like a picture of what the sheepfold is, but it's a stone enclosement that shepherds would take their sheep to after grazing for the day, because Jesus talks about how there's thieves and robbers in this passage that tried to hurt the flock. And thieves were people that would literally go in and overnight and try to steal sheep or hurt the sheep while they're in their enclosement. Robbers were people that would go out and they would live in the wilderness, and when shepherds and their flock were passing by, they would attack. And so Jesus talks about how there's these just different forces, there's these different groups of people who not only don't care for the sheep, but actually actively go out and hurt the sheep. And so he talks about this idea that just as a shepherd would take his sheep back to the sheepfold at night, Jesus cares for us. We're within his will, within his enclosement, these stone walls, and there's only one entrance into that gate or into this area. And the shepherd back in Israel would lay down in this enclosement, in this little opening, so that if a wolf or a robber or a thief wanted to hurt the sheep, they would literally have to go over the body of the shepherd, which the shepherd wouldn't let that happen, right? The shepherd would protect their sheep. And so I love how Mark put it on Sunday. He talked about how it's this idea of, if you want to get to my sheep, Jesus says, not only we have to go over my dead body, but my dead body actually is what covers the sheep, right? That it's his sacrifice for us, that he not only did he lay his life down like a sheep or like a shepherd does, that no one can get over him, but he actually laid his life down. He gave his life physically so that you and I could find our life. And that, I love how Mark put it on Sunday too, that think just what other area of your life cares for you in that way. Does your boss or job literally lay down their life for the care of you? Does this relationship that you keep finding yourself coming back to for meaning and purpose? Now, again, relationships are great, but if you're trying to find that kind of care from it, you're probably not going to find that, right? There's only one person, like an addiction can't do that, like our habits, our hobbies, like Mark said. There's only one thing, one person that can fill that and care for you in that kind of way, and that's Jesus. And he didn't come to steal and kill and destroy like these other forces do. He came to bring us life and life to the full. And so when you're deciding today what path you want to take, what kind of life you want to live, who you want to be Lord of your life today, think of the good shepherd who laid his life down for you and wants good and wonderful things for your life. Love you, Eastview.